Now, if you're regular to my channel, you're probably thinking, what the hell is he building now? If you're here because the title of the video and you actually want to know, then you're probably thinking, who's this geezer? Well, actually, you're probably saying, tell you what, or whatever you horse people talk like. My girlfriend's got a horse and she's just moved it to a different yard and she's got more storage, so obviously she's now getting more stuff. She's got one horse, so obviously she's got 3 saddles, 20 saddle pads, all different colours, 16 different rugs. Yeah, the sort of thing you'd expect if you had a horse in the Arctic, but clearly she hasn't. She obviously wants to be able to store this stuff at a yard. It's a bit open, people can get in there quite easily, so she wants it all locked up. So I looked at Tack lockers. The price! Now, considering she's got 3 saddles, a Tack locker for 3 saddles is ridiculous. They're like 900, a grand, something like that. I thought, I'm not having that. I can build something better than that. So obviously I started thinking about wood and metal and that sort of stuff, and actually there's a better way to do it. There's a much easier way to do it. I've worked out a way to create a lockable Tack locker, very secure, hard as you like, for less than 300 quid. Now, if you're really interested, you're a bit weird, but tell you what and that sort of stuff, carry on watching. Now, obviously you can get plastic, metal and wood Tack lockers. Plastic, how secure is that going to be? Wood might look good, not necessarily strong, and probably won't last more than a couple of years if it's in a damp barn. So obviously metal. So what I've decided to do, instead of buying £1,000 metal Tack locker that's going to be far too small, I decided to get a locker, a standard workwear locker. Most lockers are pretty small, like they're quite narrow. They only want to give you a little bit of space to put your work clothes in. But at my place, where I work, they've actually got these exact same lockers, so I thought I'd get one myself. This is 600 by 600. I could get in that. I could probably comfortably live in it. It's 1.8 metres tall, 600 by 600, and that is easily wide enough, even the fact that a horse is absolutely massive. It's like a cross between a horse and a giraffe. Now I reckon I can get 3 in there. But I know what you're thinking, you can't just stack saddles up. Good grief, they cost millions of pounds. So, yeah, fair enough. So we've got these. I'm sure all of you already got these. And what we're going to do is bolt them to the back of the locker. You know, nicely spaced so you can get them all in there. Obviously they're like clamshell shaped, so they'll slide in over the top of each other nicely. And the locker from there to there is about 57, 58, and these are 56. So they fit in perfectly and the door closes. So I've got 3 of those. Now, obviously, Amazon didn't have 3 of the same colour, so I had to get 2 black and 1 red. I thought it'd look a bit Dennis the Menace, I suppose. You've got the extra shelf on top. You can put your hard hat, or whatever it's called, and your reins and stuff in there. And on the front, we're going to add extra security. You know, it's nice having 1 lock, but it's not as good as having 3 locks, so we add that through. And we'll add a little hook on the front as well. It's always good for when you've been out hacking and your coat's wet, you can just hang it up. And all of this cost about just less than 300 quid. Okay, you're with me at the back of the locker. These aren't speakers. These are just breather holes. Now, obviously, if you start hanging, how much does a saddle weigh? 15 kilos? If you start hanging those off the back of this, you know, it's metal, it's all welded together, it's strong, but there's a little bit of flex to it. If you started loading it up with 15 kilo saddles, eventually it's going to start warping it. Less than ideal, it'd probably be fine, but we can do better than that. So what we're going to do is I went to B&Q and I've got some steel tube, which is far too long. I only needed 1.8 metres, but I only did it in 2.5 metres. And it's just a standard box section. This is 32 quid. All we're going to do is create a brace that runs right from the very top right down to the very bottom, because this bit here is doubled up. Same at the bottom, so that's a lot stronger. It's obviously right angled as well, so that's not moving anywhere. So if we connect it into there and then bolt the saddle holders through that, through the metal, then that's not going to flex at all and nothing is going to get damaged. So let's do that. Right, measure the height of the locker just to be sure. It's definitely at the bottom. It's definitely 180. Metal, up to 180. Give it a little mark. Right, this is where the scary bit comes in. So go and get Papa and ask him to do it. Make sure he's wearing idiot stuff. Okay, the bar is the right height, but I mean, you can use a hacksaw if you want. You might want to tidy this end up a little bit with a file because it's a little bit on the sharp side. Okay, these particular saddle stands were really designed to be put into wood using the screws provided. The screws I got provided were thrown straight in the bin. This is a metal base plate, so it's easy enough to just drill the holes out a little bit larger. So that's not really good. I've gone for M8 bolts because that's what I've got. So I'm going to have to drill these out to M8 as well. Oh, that took less than a minute to do all of those. And just check to make sure your bolts go through. Perfect. Okay, once again back at the back of the locker, I'm going to see the depth of this return lip, and that is 16mm. So if we're doing an 8mm hole, obviously that needs to be dead centre. You can do the maths on that, it's nice and easy. And we want this bar to be dead centre. Again, we already know it's 60, so the centre line needs to be 30. So you can draw that on and then work out where that's going to go. Alright, we're at the back of the locker again. Going to mark halfway. We know it's 60mm wide, so 30mm. And you want to be dead in the middle of that. That's 16. So 8mm down. And that is where you need to drill your 8mm hole. Same in the bottom. Obviously make sure it's dead centre. Do yourself a favour, don't try and drill an 8mm hole straight the way through because it'll make a mess. Always do a little pilot hole. Use a little 3mm drill, pop the hole through. It's actually really quite tough metal. Once you've made your pilot hole, you can go full beans with your 8mm or 6mm, whatever you choose to use. Right, we've got a nice size hole there. We're going to place the support bracket up there and then mark where the centre of that hole would be so we can work out where we're going to drill through it. Right, there's the hole we drilled. There's the other hole we drilled. So we place the bolt all the way through. So it sits there nicely. And then you need to thread that onto there, which you probably can't do with one hand. Hang on. Right, just like that. Now, ideally, although it's solid, it's always good to put a washer on and then a nut of some sort, and you can just cut off whatever's left you don't need. If you're doing this on your own, this is going to be the hard part. You need to hold this side with the spanner whilst tightening the other side. Now, that's the long way around. So the only thing I can think of doing that. It's good enough. And the spanner stay put. Doing the bottom bolt is actually going to be a lot easier because the inside nut isn't actually on the inside, it's actually underneath. The underside's all blocked off and there's a return lip there, makes it even stronger, and our hole is actually there. So you've got to work around a little return lip, but it's a lot easier than what we had to do for the top one. Right, we'll put a hole through there, and now that can bolt through there. To place your nut on the back of that with a washer, give it a good tighten down. Right, that has given it the backbone required to support those brackets. Nice. It's up to you to paint it if you want. This is varnished steel, so it will eventually rust, but it'll take a while. If you want to paint it, you can. Well, to be honest, you should have painted it before you fitted it. Right, rewind to the beginning, paint it first, then deal with this. If you want to fit more than 4 saddles in here, you can actually take the shelf out. I'm not going to, I don't think. But the shelf has actually got a nice little hanging rail on there as well. So you can actually fit your saddles down the middle there and have a hook either side and have your guide rope or your reins, whatever, either side. Now you have to decide how many you're fitting in, what sort of space you're going to give it. That's got to go in like that. It makes sense to me to start from the bottom and just got to work out how far off the ground you need. So go and grab all your saddles, rightio, jolly ho, all that sort of stuff. And that fits in there. Nice width, good, good. Right, once that's placed up against that, all you have to do is just measure from that hole down to where it will touch and add maybe an inch, 2.5 centimetres. And once you've got that distance, you can measure from the bottom there up in the middle and drill a hole, and that'll be the bottom hole for that. And once you've got that put in, then it's easy to work out where those ones go. Pilot hole, standard size hole, put the bolt in. And the other reason I went for a wider spine is so you can be a little bit off. Missed it by a couple of mil, doesn't matter. I've not tightened it all the way down. And I've swung it up, made the point for the next hole. And now I'll just drill another pilot hole and an 8mm hole for another bolt in. Put a nut on the back where the washer, and that is rock solid. Okay, that is about 4 inches off the ground. Now if you're going to get another one. Now the good thing is, because these nest, they'll be able to sit a fair bit lower, and the next one will have to sit a bit lower. Right, what I did was to work out the difference between the edge of the saddle rack and the top of the saddle to make sure there's enough room between that and the shelf. I made the top mark, so that will set the two, and then I can set the last one equidistant, which means right in the middle. Right, 2 down. I've just got to work out the middle of that one. So measure between the bottom of that one, top of that one, work out where the middle is, measure the distance between the ends, and that'll give you the middle, and then you'll be able to work out where to put your final holes. Right, that's my halfway point, and now, well, if we measure from end to end, it's 28, so 14. So measure up 14 from there, place a mark, that'll be the top of the bracket. Right, now you know where the top of the bracket should be. You can place it in, make sure it looks equal, and then you can mark the points for where you're going to drill the holes. Right, they are not all tightened down properly yet, but they are all placed in there and fairly solid. And on the back, we've got 2 for each one. They will need tightening down properly. Ideally, again, you need to have a spanner on the front. There you go, double check, make sure they all fit. There's nice space between all 3. Got plenty of room down the bottom there for anything else. Still plenty of room up here. Still got the hooks if you want to put your guide ropes or anything down there. Right, with the other holes, there and there, that's solid. They really only stop it going side and side, but it's not really going to go anywhere. The up and down is absolutely rock solid. So that's fine. Next we'll just stick this hook on the front, just so you can hang up any wet coats or anything. Right, because for aesthetic purposes only, I want to put the hook in the middle. You're a bit limited because on these ones, you can actually get to that. So you can't really use a nut and bolt unless you go all the way through and bolt on that side. So what I'm going to do is use blind rivets. All you have to do is drill the right size hole, put it in and set it with a rivet gun, and it holds it in place. Right, this is the rivet. That's the rivet gun. It just slides in there. You put it through what you want to rivet. Put it through the hole. Make sure the rivet goes all the way in. And then squeeze. There you go. Absolutely rock solid. And all we've got left to do is increase the security slightly. Easy done. Amazon finally delivered. Standard Harsman staple. All we're going to do is again rivet right up against the edge of that, and then I'll rivet that into the door around there. And then you can place your padlock through it, and that stops it from being jimmied open. One up there, maybe one down there. Now, so you'll see some people fitting them that way, which is a bit ridiculous because obviously then you can get the fixings and you just drill them out. You're supposed to place them that way, so when they're closed, it folds up over the fixings and you can't find them. 5mm rivets, because the holes are 5mm. In that case, you need a 5mm drill. I don't know why I'm battling with that thing. Well, I've got one of these. Simple as that. Done. There's one other thing you could do. If you don't own 3 saddles, then clearly that's going to be a bit of a waste of space for you. So another option is a hat stand. I think these are really designed for either riding helmets, like motorbike riding helmets or something like that. But you could quite easily bolt that in the back and put your equestrian riding helmet on it. And if you didn't want to do that, you can stick it on the front or on the side, whatever. Again, rivet it on. Looks a bit unsightly on the outside, but I suppose it's all about usability more than how it looks. So yeah, any links to anything that I've used here, I'll put in the description. The locker was from Manutan, I think it was. It's like 240 quid. It's pretty much rock solid. What you might want to do is once you've actually got it into position, consider bolting it to the wall, or even put in a paving slab in the bottom. 500 by 500 would fit in there quite nicely, just to stop it from being moved away. You could even fit a motion sensing light. And this one, again, links in the description, is magnetic. It's got a motion sensor. If you put it on night mode, it will only turn on when it's dark. If you stick it on day mode, it will always come on when it senses movement. And it can stay up there like that. There you go. After 30 seconds it turns off and waits for more movement. And you also get a remote control, so you can change it and turn it on, off, whatever. So options. Anything else you can think of?